must be allergic to plants, so here's an unplanned video for you. It's a bit raw around the edges, clearly a raster. I modify small sewing patterns to have less seam allowance, 1/4 of an inch instead of 1/2. But I want the hems to stay 1/2 an inch, so let's see about it. You'll eventually see the pattern. I have to look around for it because of reasons, but it's being reworked as we speak. This is 1.3 development version, and the release is planned somewhere in July. But what is this list I see? These, my friends, are layers. Yes, I've been waiting for them for years too. I will only leave the size I need visible. First, let's duplicate the shapes to work with. I duplicate these 3 and give them a different stroke color. As we know, seam allowance is on the seams and not on the folds, so I can only remove it from unfolded shapes directly. The folded one will have to, you guessed it, unfold themselves. I go to Preferences to set Outset Amount. Well, I already did. Here it is. Preferences tree is rather long, so I just search for Outset. It's set to 1/4 of an inch, because that's how much I need to remove from 1/2 to be left with another 1/4 of an inch. Ironically, what we will do is inset, but the amount is used for both. So we select 2 unfolded shapes and then Path Inset. Working with copies lets you see the results clearly. Then I duplicate the side piece, this time with shortcut Ctrl-D, snap and union both halves. I inset this piece too, and here comes the tricky part. 1/4 is all good and fine for seam allowance, but we are supposed to fold and hem those slanted edges. I don't know about you, but I prefer to have more hem allowance. We can use some guidelines here, like literal guides you can pull from the rulers. Pull them to the new green corners of the edges in question. We'll rotate them in place and then use as, well, guides in our node manipulative practice. Guides are a bit fiddly. So zoom in and hover until you see a little hand cursor. With it and shift pressed, it changes into rotation symbol. Rotate the guides to continue the lines of the pattern piece outwards. Then switch to Node tool and pull the corner nodes along the guides to the original edge line. I rotate the guides for the second pattern piece too. Here it's a bit curvy, but we still treat it as straight. That's more nodes than the pattern piece needs, but I can't be bothered to simplify it. And just select them all and move them all at once too. It works for all but one on the left. I click away to remove selection and click only this one and pull it in place. I select all 3 and color them for good visibility, then export them as usual. Off to cutting and sewing, and here's the results through the magic of editing. And here's the blooper. I have read the instructions before starting, but all the horizontal edges are hemmed in the end too. So I should only have reduced the seam allowance on the vertical ones. I thought I could just move them by a set amount, but it breaks all the slanted ones. So follow the same procedure as above. Most of the time you can do it without guides, simply by eye. As you can see, I hemmed the edges in question by hand at the end. Not my preferred way because it's just visible enough to be slightly annoying. But well. Always remember 3 feet rule, people. You don't see it on the side part because it's actually lined. For my non-sewing viewers, it has another layer of fabric inside, and I hemmed only through that layer. I'd like to tell you what to expect next, but have I told you I wasn't good with plans? Might be a video about insetting circles, might be Mornscape. Which ones do you prefer? See you in the next one, regardless.